Greetings, my friends! Today we are going to take a child's photo and make a little fairy. My name is Denise McGill and I'm going to show you a few basics of Photoshop. And here we first want to use the zoom tool because I am going to really examine the photo I've taken. This is little Skye. She held her mom's hand and I told her, lift up your foot because I'm going to make you into a fairy. But my photos are often a little shaky, so I like to check the photo, make sure the lines are really crisp, it's not got fuzzy edges or blurred in any way. The lighting wasn't the greatest in this photo because she has a window behind her, but I kind of liked the rim light. So now I'm going to cut out the main subject. I'm using the lasso tool and the quick selection tool. Quick selection tool is the best, inside or outside. So you can see I've got black in the background, which is going to compete with her shirt, and a little dim light in the background around her arm, her mother's arm, which that's just not helping. And so now I'm going to clean up the edges with the brush. I know there are several ways of doing this, but I like to do it by hand. Then I just feel like I have better control. And you can see the lasso tool did pretty good, but there are areas where it left too much of the background showing. Now the next thing, I am going to mask out the leg she's standing on because I want another leg there, one where she's holding it up. I want my little fairy to be floating. And here's the other leg. So I'm just going to capture it with the lasso tool, then go to my main document. This is what I want. 20 inches by 20 inches at 300 dots per inch. And now I'm going to cut and paste Skye's leg. Again, click on the mask and invert it, which is, shortcut method is pressing Command and I for invert. Command or Control on a PC. And again, I want to use the brush and get a little bit closer. There's a little bit of background fringe. Now, there she is, and putting the two photos together. Now, isn't that cute? Now, Skye is floating, and I'm ready to put on some butterfly wings. And I'm going to place a wreath would be nice. I'm going to look through the wreaths. There's a pink one, the green one. That's it. Looks nice. It's just made out of moss. I took a photo of moss, cut some out, put it together, and created my own little wreath. Now to make it look like it goes all the way around her head, and then I'm making two copies of the wreath. One goes under her body, the other one stays on top of her head. And I decided I wanted a ribbon hanging from the wreath. I've cut this out before from a dancing girl. So now I'm going to add butterfly wings. I have several to choose from, but I chose this one because I like the colors. And it's not already cut out of the photo, so I'm going to have to use my quick selection tool and cut out the background. I'm going to zoom in so I can really see it well. Butterflies facing the wrong direction for my little fairy. So I'm going to cut one of the wings off, or, well, mask it off. First I'm going to clean up the fringe. When you zoom in this far, you can see this isn't as crisp as it originally looked, but that's okay because neither is my photo of Skye. It is a little too brilliant in its vibrance, so I'm going to tone that down with a layer filter. So now I need to tilt it. Now I'm going to need two sets of wings. Remember, I cut out the other side. So I'm just going to duplicate this one. The shortcut is Command J. So Command J, I've just duplicated the wings. So the one behind, I'm going to tilt slightly and shrink a little. It's going to be, further back, so it's got to be a little bit smaller. And I need to take the brightness down. Now I'm adding a new layer, and I'm labeling it Shadow under the wing. I'm grabbing the black that's there on her shirt, and using that, I'm going to make a shadow under the wing. Now for the background, it is time. So I chose this pretty purple clover type flower, and as you can see, it's really not big enough for this whole square. So I'm going to duplicate the background. You don't want to stretch it, it'll look stretched. But if you duplicate the background, now there are two of them, and I pull one up, then create a mask and soften the seam between the two, so the two photos look like they belong together. To create my vignette, I'm going to go and mask some of the darkness out and bring back the vibrance. And I'm going to create a glow with a very soft brush, still at about, I'm just painting white, and it's underneath the fairy, as if she's glowing. And then on top of everything, create a new layer, and I'm going to label it Sparkles, because I like my fairies to sparkle. She's got to have fairy dust. As you can see, it looks like she's coming in from outside the picture, because I've got a little trail moving around her and out one corner. Now the thing is, it's still a bunch of photos pieced together. So I like to do one more step to add an overlay. The overlay ties it all together, so I'm going to choose this orange overlay. I'm going to change the blending mode to make the overlay soft light. And you see now everything is tied together with the same orange soft light glow. And now I'm going to make little adjustments. This is where you look at it and you go, it needs more of this or less of that. I felt like, I really should have a shadow on her face under her wreath and in her hair. Add a little blur to the wings because they're standing out a tiny bit also. As I said, I'm just adding little adjustments. I did the same with the background. I added a little Gaussian blur to the background, so it pushes it farther back and makes it look farther away. Now I'm using a select color filter to change that black a little bit so it matches more of her shirt, and it's just so bright. The two blacks together look very stark. So I added a select color filter. I've gone to black and I'm trying to see if I can pull it up the tiniest bit. This is where you play around with adjustments and decide what you like and what you don't like. Again, you're piecing together photos that don't match. They weren't taken in the same context. They weren't taken probably even with the same camera if you've got your butterfly online like I did mine. I got my butterfly from PixPro, which is a free photo site. And that's just about it. There's my little Skye fairy. I hope you enjoyed watching me put her all together, exploring all sides of art, a subject I love so much, and especially children. I love children, and I love children in artwork, and so I do spend a lot of time with it. Thank you so much for coming with me on this journey. I hope you enjoy exploring your Photoshop program further and just playing around with the settings and the different filters. There's so much that can be done. Blessings to everyone. Bye now. See you next time. Have a great one, everyone.